Welcome to the greatest show, episode 68, Notified About Nothing. And that title is referring to last week. I dropped the ball and didn't tell anybody we weren't doing it, although Bob and I knew we weren't doing it. So, hey, Trisha.
What?
I need a name of a school.
Oh my God, that was quick. That's very specific.
Well, it just says school.
Yale.
Yale. Very proper. Okay. Bob, although I said you were next, I'm going to take this one because it's an adjective.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with slimy. And Bob, you need a plural noun.
Oh, actually, the Minions movie is on, so I'll say Minions. I'll go with that.
Minions.
Yeah.
Trisha, person in room, male, and of course that means any male in existence.
Bonsai. Because they don't want to pick you.
Bob, part of the body.
Beard, because
it is part of the body. Yeah. I need an article of clothing, and I'm going to go with G-string.
For after beard, I wonder how that's going to sound.
Plural noun?
Kitty sticks.
Kitty sticks. Bob, noun.
Toothbrush.
Toothbrush. I also need a noun, and I'm going to go with gunfire. Trisha, adjective.
Naked.
Woolly.
Woolly. Bob, I'm going to take your adjective. You're going to think of a plural noun. So I'm going to do adjective, and I'm going to go with indecent. And Bob, your plural noun.
Moons.
Moons. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes our Mad Lib. Report by Student Protest Committee. Fellow students of Yale, we, the members of the Students for a Slimy Society, are meeting here to decide what action to take about the Dean of Minions. He has just fired our friend, Professor Bonsai, because he wore his beard long and because he dressed in a G-string and wore old kitty sticks. Next week, we are going to protest by taking over the toothbrush building and kidnapping the assistant gunfire. We also will demand that all students have the right to wear woolly hair and indecent beards. Remember our slogan, down with moons.
Wow.
Or Professor Bonsai.
Yeah.
So I got a little bit of the kitty recorded before she
Okay.
realized.
Now, Bob, since we mentioned beards, I still have mine, and you obviously still have yours.
That's a new one.
Oh.
You haven't seen him for 2 weeks.
Huh.
So I hate my beard now. I'm in that phase where I really want to get rid of it. So I'm fat, both with an F and a PH. So I have decided just today that I am not allowed to shave this off until I get down to 275 in weight.
Okay, so how's this for ironic? All right, you finally get down to 275. You shave off the beard, and you're like 250.
It's not that heavy. Although, if it gets unruly before then, I suppose I'll give in. But that's my goal, 275. And for anyone who's interested, I'm 313 as we're speaking right now.
What are you weigh, Bobby?
I'm about between 245 and 250.
That's it?
Yeah. That's
Boy, you must have to hold on to stuff not to blow away in a stiff breeze.
No, there's a lot of me. And
No, there's a lot of me. Bob, I could eat you.
I wish you wouldn't.
And still be hungry.
Well,
Good thing I make you skinny Alfredo.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
But since our like we're only gonna eat chicken all the time thing for the last couple weeks, I don't know what it's done for you, but I guess I've lost about 8 pounds just doing that.
It's trickling off of me at this point.
Then I got food poisoning.
Woo!
That'll make you lose some weight.
Yeah, unfortunately it didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was. Apparently I didn't have it long enough. I don't know. I guess I failed at food poisoning, but yeah, it was awful.
He sucked food poisoning.
That's why I didn't remember what I had for drinks or to put them in the fridge, because I went shopping on that day and then I was sick all that night.
I see a TARDIS.
This is a paper craft TARDIS. I downloaded, I downloaded the thing, I printed it out, and I cut where it told me to cut and connected where it told me to connect. I just made this with paper instead of like cardstock, so it's kind of flimsy. And it was really awkward because it's the first time I've ever put together a paper craft thing, but it's 3-dimensional. I mean, the top, and it's got, I mean,
Wow.
it's pretty awesome. I've been staring at it a lot, and I did that the day that I asked everybody if they wanted to play the Doctor Who game. So,
Cool.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
I'm more than a little upset. I think that we need to plan a small vacation to England to talk to the Queen on America's behalf about the loss of Doctor Who on Netflix.
What?
It's not on Netflix?
No, they pulled it. February 1st, they took it off of Netflix and Hulu. It's like no longer, because England now has their own channel, and I went on there to try to watch this, and from the way it looks, it's just a couple bucks for each episode that you want to watch, and it's like it's their own little like version of a, I don't know, it made me sad, but it's no longer on Netflix.
Now I have to find out.
So I'm sure the Queen will understand she's a big fan of Doctor Who. So I'm sure if we explain it to her in our best British accents that we can muster, she will totally.
I'm sure that nothing makes anybody happier than a foreigner trying to copy their accent to them.
Especially the Queen.
I'm the Queen. Now, is it all Doctor Who or just the new stuff?
All of it. There's one like the making of Doctor Who or something like that that has survived the cut. That's an American sort of thing.
The Science of Doctor Who?
That's the one.
Ooh, I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's so smart.
I
We saw him on Star Talk.
Star Talk's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
What a bunch of crap.
I know, right?
So you said there's a BBC, like a channel?
Yes.
Let's do a search. Let's find out if it's on the Apple TV. It is not.
So I'm not even sure what it is.
Wow. I'm sorry, I need to retitle this as the saddest day ever.
It was a yeah, they were announcing on Facebook for a while, like a week or so before, and I like totally jumped in. I was already on like, I don't know, my 10th viewing of binge watching the Doctor Who when I learned this news. But there was other ones that said that it wasn't true and that there was enough people who protested about it that they were gonna when it first was gone.
Here are the series that will still be around after the renewal update happens at the end of the month. Doctor Who classic episodes, Doctor Who seasons 1 to 7, Torchwood 1 to 4, Luther 1 to 3, The Office UK, Robin Hood, House of Cards UK. Oh, I didn't realize there was one of those.
Ours is because of that.
Of course it is. Copper, Top Gear, North and South, Wallander, Keeping Up Appearances, Monarch of the Glen, The Buccaneers.
Well,
so
since we have the Apple TV remote, let's go with. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
what I really want is this article to have a date on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sorry to have to be the one to break this to you. I thought that you learned this just like all the rest of us did through Facebook.
Oh, comments are a year ago. Yeah, that's why I'm.
Oh.
Let's see. Available until 2/1.
Where can I watch Doctor Who?
Probably your couch or your favorite chair. Or
Where can I watch Doctor Who? Sorry, I can't help you with that here.
wow, I just cried a little.
Well, see, I've been purchasing actual Doctor Who episodes on iTunes because we haven't gotten them, up to date since.
So it sounds like Netflix needs to renew their contract with BBC.
Right, which there was the BBC that wouldn't renew it
Okay.
because
Okay.
the new show this new channel they've got.
I see.
Looks like it's BBC One, mayhaps.
Here's an article from January 2nd of this year.
So if you go to episodes on the BBC One page, let's see, there's season 9, season 8, season 7. So let's just click on a random one here. I'll click on this one. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Very good episode. Sorry, this episode is not currently available.
You suppose it's geofenced, which means it won't play for you because you are not in the UK?
So what does this mean? Well, it simply means that the BBC shows streaming on Netflix US are simply up for renewal, and it's strongly likely that Netflix will renew the show to continue streaming on Netflix. Though you shouldn't expect season 9 to arrive just yet.
So it may happen some other time.
What I think is going to happen is BBC is going to go, why did the viewership drop so sharply all of a sudden? Oh, we took it off all the places people watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just over the last few years, the geekdom in our country has exploded with Doctor Who fans. I am really happy with the fact that some of the geek stuff is is becoming okay now. Like comic books used to be kind of a closet thing where nobody read comic books. That was for children. And now it's okay. Superheroes are okay. Comic books are okay. Star Wars, like every once in a while you'll meet somebody who doesn't know like Star Wars. Yeah, I've never seen Star Wars. And you're like, what? But most everybody's seen it.
And knitting is for old ladies with cats on their laps. Uh-oh.
Yeah. When
I have a cat on my lap right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad example there.
Right? Kitty, stop it.
All right, so I've been purchasing episodes for several seasons. I want to say since season 5. I'm looking that up right now to find out if that's the correct season.
Through Apple.
Through
Or through-
iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes. That's the word I'm looking for.
And it was still available on that that one app that I get on my phone. There's like one season that's not on there for some reason.
Kitty, I'm going to need you to stop putting the yarn in your mouth. God damn it.
We'll make a hat out of you.
Stop it. No, stop it. Let go.
Mm.
Let go. Oh, we're gonna get into a big fight and I'm gonna lose. Let go. Let go of both my hand and the yarn.
Well, according to my phone, I don't own any of these damn things. So now I'm going to have to go to the effing iTunes to actually. So I'm not going to be able to see you for a second. Now I'm bothered. Why won't it show me this?
See, the biggest problem I've got with iTunes is there's a lot of stuff that I had in iTunes, and then all of a sudden it'll be gone. I think it was Bruce Willis was in like a huge legal thing with iTunes because he purchased he's a very well-known actor. He's got lots and lots of money, and he's purchased a lot of music and movies and stuff on iTunes. When he dies, he wants to be able to pass that on to his children. They said, no, once you die, it becomes our property again, and you lose it all. That's bullshit. It's like you purchase it. You have it. Granted, it's just a digital copy, but you purchased it. Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
I found out it's seasons 7, 8, and 9 are the 3 seasons that I own. I thought I owned more, but I own the Christmas special, Voyage of the Damned, and I think I own one other Christmas special. But I mean, all this is going to do is for if they're going to nickel and dime everything, they're going to be the most pirated show in the world. Because I mean, Game of Thrones is going to lose that one hands down.
Yeah, right now, Games of Thrones is the top. Yeah.
Boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Now I want to run this Doctor Who game more than ever because we need some Doctor Who.
We do.
I kind of like her idea with running everybody else as the Doctor and her as the companion for everybody, so that if I want to get everybody together, it's a multi-Doctor story.
Nice.
Not if, but if you can.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about this game because I so want to play, but I don't know when I would have the time to play.
Well, because of everybody's weird time difference, the other thing I am under contemplation of is playing like a Facebook game. So I'll start a thread and we'll all, hey, enter my comments here, and we'll do just.
Get off of me. Go away.
We'll just do on we'll type it. I mean, we won't do voices and stuff. It won't.
Discussed doing that with other games before. You know, me and some friends who just never could get it together. But
I mean, we would still do the same thing. Whereas so using you, let's say you get to be the first Doctor, and she's the first companion, and I got the 2 Kevins and Morgan, and let's say they all want to be companions too, but I'm like, I don't want to shoehorn 4 companions into one story if we don't have to. So the thing that I came up with that I liked was maybe Morgan wants to play the Master this first story, and the 2 Kevins want to play some unit members or something. You know, just something off to the side to where they can come back.
The lady and the cactus people.
Yes.
Or the cat lady. You don't remember? Okay, so the cactus people were in the Master episode, where he's saying when everybody on the planet just became the Master, and he says, "You're pretty dense, aren't you?" And he's like, "What?" And he goes, "You are everybody on the planet, and you think you've got all the answers, and you didn't even realize that guard standing right behind you is 2 inches too short." And it was one of those cactus people. They're just green, and they have like these little spiky things coming off them all over the place.
I remember that.
Huh. Shimmer!
And it's not like I can go back to watch the episode now, BBC. Thanks a lot.
Ooh, wait, that's a good point. My favorite episode is the one where I was a guest star. Yes, I was in one of the episodes of Doctor Who.
Was it the episode where I was the Doctor?
Just look it up on Netflix. Oh, it's not on Netflix anymore.
Yeah, there's just going to be rampant Doctor Who pirating now. They're going to be like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean,
You know?
you even printed off your own TARDIS. That's
In a couple weeks, there's a lot of Doctor Who people that are going to be here. Maybe we should complain to their faces about the TV shows that they were in not being available online anymore because they would have something to do with it. I know.
we can storm the castle.
Because what she's referring to is in 2 weeks is Portland Wizard World Comic Con.
Yeah, when Matt Smith will be here and
Oh wow.
Captain Jack and
River Song, Amy, and Rory.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I commented on that when Morgan said that she left her dice in England, and I commented we need to go to England and get those dice so that we can talk to the Queen about this Netflix thing. And nobody really mentioned anything about that. It's like, okay, maybe I don't know. I didn't realize you didn't hear that news. I thought it was one of those things where the topic was beaten too much already or something.
No, I'm learning about this on at 7:50 p.m. on Saturday, February 6th, Pacific time, 2016, and I'm not very happy with it.
That's right. He learned about it live on this show. DJ, the next thing of news, your dog died.
In July, yes.
May.
Yeah.
May.
Yeah. Oh, you knew about that one already?
I did know about that one.
Okay. Yeah, forget about that one then. Bob bless you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you said you played Amp Guard today, right?
Yes, I did.
I played Ingress today.
Ooh, nice.
We had a first Saturday event here, like we do the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
And there were like 27 Enlightened players and 30 some Resistance players there, and then they track how much AP we gain, and they track how much we walk, and then they give us prizes for these things.
What kind of prizes did you get?
Well, for the first time ever, I actually won.
Huh.
So I got this this little thing here. I chose for gaining the most AP. It's a 3D printed plastic thing.
Nice. And it means free stuff?
It means first
Why-
Saturday.
First Saturday.
I was so close. That's cool.
So I got that because I gained 317,000 AP today while playing for 2 hours.
Wow.
And then I got a second prize, and she made these little hearts because it's February, and this was our 14th first Saturday in Portland. So she was feeling all Valentine's-like. And
So it took a week.
ooh, and I tied 2 other green players for walking the farthest distance. Because there's a trekker badge for walking, and we all walked 7 kilometers.
Oh.
So,
Metric.
yeah, everything on the game is, well, the distance is measured metric. But basically, I walked about 5.5 miles and 11,000 steps today.
Wow.
So
I'm just shy of 11,000. I'm at 10,974. So I'll have 11,000 before I go to bed.
I think, well, so my, you had mentioned a while ago that my Fitbit basically, I didn't have any numbers posting. And so I finally went and looked at it, and I noticed that my phone and Fitbit were somehow not connected anymore.
Oh.
And this is what I'm at today.
Nice.
So yeah, I basically disassociated my phone with Fitbit and reset everything up again. And then because my phone holds the data for who knows how long, it repopulated Fitbit going back. So Now I'm finally on the board again. Well, granted, I'm at a third of what you are currently at, but at least it's not 0.
Right?
But my phone says 11,708, but my watch is at 12,438 because I don't carry my phone with me all the time. So my watch is accurate, my phone isn't.
So I did I'm just going to use an improper word, but you'll understand. I did 2 ride-alongs today or this week, and basically that's me inspecting carrier routes because I'm a supervisor. I didn't know ahead of time what kind of routes I'd be doing, and there's 2 kinds. There's park and loop, which they grab the mail and they walk a loop on the street, come back to the van and grab more, and then they do that from a certain number of park points. And then the other one is mounted, where it's basically a rural carrier. You're just delivering from the vehicle the whole time. So because I know most of our park and loop routes were done already, when I got there the first day, which was Tuesday, I was really worried I was just going to be sitting in the back of a vehicle all day. I got to do 2 park and loops this week, which was great. So the first day I did 13.
17? Was it not that high?
15. Well, you know what? Let me look. My steps this week are obnoxiously high, and it's because I did 2 ride-alongs. Tuesday I did 17,618 steps.
See, that's a.
And yesterday I did one. It was 15,174 steps. So, and then for some reason Sunday and Monday I also have a gigantic. Oh, Sunday we built a farm in Ingress and we farmed that. So I got 12,951. Monday, I'm not sure why this is so high, but I did 13,471, so I got a lot there. But so I've got a really high week this week.
Cool. Yeah, usually, sorry, I'm that tired stuff. Usually on the weekends, I don't get nearly as high as I do when I'm at work.
Hey, Bob, you're not even on my. Oh no, you're at the top. Sorry, you got 107,094 steps on my list, and I'm at 75,498. So I'm in 4th, and you're in 1st.
Wow.
That's why I told him I'm at like a third of what he's at right now.
Today I was at AmpGuard night, so I'm out in the field running around and beating the hell out of all my friends with this thing on my arm. So, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
actually, he can watch this.
Yeah.
We recently watched a movie on Netflix called The Knights of Badassdom.
I may have seen that.
It's got Peter Dinklage in it, and Steve Zahn,
Summer
Glau. It's some friends that go to a LARP,
Oh,
and it's closer to AmpGuard than it is what I would consider a LARP. But I mean, it takes a turn. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I think you'd like it.
Well, there were foam weapons there, and that made me think of Bob.
Yeah.
there was another one not that many years ago. I don't remember what it was called, but they had the children that they were watching. They had 2 kids that they had to keep an eye on for community service or something, and one of them was into that stuff, so they ended up like going and LARPing, and it was pretty cool. Knights of Badassdom, IMDb, 2013 movie. And make that larger.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
Yes, I have seen this one because it's got the midget from.
Peter Dinklage.
Is that his name?
yes. Hey, I just noticed you got a Star Wars shirt on.
I totally do. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was an amalgamation of certain posters because there's a stormtrooper on that one. And I mean, otherwise, it's pretty close to the Star Wars original poster.
Right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail you.
Quite all right. Yeah, I didn't know the midget's name. I always call him the midget, and midgets love being called the midget.
No, they like being called little people.
What about dwarf? Is that okay?
Apparently, that's more offensive than midget.
Hmm.
Which
Fun size? Is fun size allowed?
Well, we're not making any friends here, so why not?
Well, we do have a question and answer thing here, so if you happen to be a midget, dwarf, or little person, go ahead and comment what you want to be called. And
you can only do that while we're live, otherwise you're just commenting on the YouTube page. Do we have Not Your Father's Root Beer?
Yes.
I would take one if it was cold.
Well, that's a gamble that I suppose I'll have to go figure out because I wasn't good at putting anything in the fridge.
And in case you didn't notice, Bob, I have the Marvel family on my shirt.
I did see that.
Which, by their names, the way they originally had them is Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, and Captain Marvel Jr.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going with the modern or the most recent versions, it would be Shazam, Queen Shazam, and King Shazam. I'm not sure what the other two would call themselves because only Shazam has a name.
Yeah. Okay. But they all start out as other people who say the thing and change?
Well, only Billy Batson in the new version has the power. And what he did was he cast a spell on his other 6 friends or whatever, which turned them all into Shazams. And then they're all like, well, what do I call myself now? And then the people are like, Lord Shazam, Lady Shazam. And then the Captain Marvel Jr. amalgam, he said, I'm going to go with King Shazam. Yeah.
Nice. I think if I had to come up with a superhero name for myself, I'd probably stick with Bob. That's my name. People know me that way.
I was thinking about a military themed name. I think I would be Major Asshole or General Lee Annoying.
Nice.
So we're that now.
Mission accomplished.
Want to show you my new reusable grocery shopping bag?
Nice. Impressive.
Adorable.
Yeah. I like Cthulhu. I got a lot of Cthulhu stuff, as you saw last week. Did I show you? You guys saw my Cthulhu mask too, right?
Yes.
I think we saw
Well,
pictures. I think it was in your car, like when you were actually on the podcast.
It's out in the apartment now. I'm just so happy about Cthulhu too, is that so many people, like I had that at work and somebody said, oh cool, Cthulhu. Like right away. You're expecting somebody to say, look, he's wearing an octopus on his head or some shit like that, which that person would have gotten kicked in the nuts. But he knew it was Cthulhu, and this is a family-friendly show, so we're not allowed to kick anybody in the nuts.
Wait. Who said this was a family-friendly show?
Wasn't that in the description? Oh,
No.
I guess not. Yeah, never mind.
Bob, our last episode title was 7 Testicles Later.
That's like 3 people in a family. Well, 3.5 people from a family.
Our most popular episode title is Best Lap Dance for $2.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of the whole Cthulhu thing, and I have the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft, and like you were saying that the Lovecraft Literary Podcast, the Podcraft.
Yeah, hppodcraft.com.
That's the one guy at work's listening to that now, and he's mentioned a couple of them. And it's like, he mentioned the name, and I was like, that sounds familiar. What episode was it? He tells me, and it's like, yeah, I had to have seen that. It's one of the newer ones, like 23 or something. And that was the White Ship. And the more he starts talking about it, I'm like, okay. It was based off of a dream, not so much a horror thing, but a dream one where with this white ship that had like a rainbow bridge, and I remembered after he started talking about it.
Yeah.
Cthulhu. The games that I got where you can actually fight Cthulhu, that's kind of cool too.
I wouldn't mind running a Cthulhu game, but I noticed that the Cthulhu role-playing games tended to evolve pretty quickly into, well, how much sanity do I have left? Can I do that?
None.
Well, wait a second. Why? Well, now it's like you happen to have a story going on in the background of a meta game is what happens, is what I'm noticing. And I want more. I want to be able to just push the book aside and say, listen, you know what? It will roll if I feel like rolling, but let's just roll with it.
I would totally roll with that. I'm not concerned with like the little things that happen to the character. I was saying today that I like to do things a little bit beyond I don't like the metagaming within the game. I don't know how. It's been a long time since I played a game with you like that. But
when Chris ran Vampire, I liked what he did. And he dropped this on us. This was before you joined the group. Ivy, Monty, and I used to talk all the time, and these games would last forever because we were constantly jabbering out the game, metagaming. It was just having a grand old time. One day he's just like, you know what? Everything you say, unless something specific happens, is in character. So yeah, we're like, yeah, whatever. So we're in a session, and we just start gabbing, and he's just staring at us, and we all look at him, and we're like, what? And then he's in character. He was somebody of important stature, and he goes into, I don't know why the hell the three of you random people are sitting here babbling in front of me, and that's when we realized, oh hey, he's gonna keep us focused. So we kept focus at that point.
I think he would have probably said it more like, I don't know why you three people are. He had a very bad lisp.
Lisp?
And so he would have said it differently.
It wasn't that bad.
It was really bad.
Out of the lisp.
It was really bad.
He did have a lisp, yeah. A little bit.
But yeah, it was. I've heard of some like crazy things. We're like, oh yeah, any character you want to make your character however you want, and we'll run with that. And when you've got these near gods playing in a game, the only way to make it challenging is to have like crazy huge things like taking over worlds and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. We had a game where it was we had an idea what we wanted to play, but we started out with like the farmer and the merchant and like in a small town. And then when the town was attacked, people were picking up weapons, and you picked your class based on, I've got a high strength, and I just picked up a sword, and I did pretty good beating on this guy. And me, I've got a high intelligence. My strength's not very good. So instead of using that, I was in the school, and I'm like, so it was based off of the not so much making your characters godlike, but starting at the bottom and working your way up slowly. It gives you more options to run the game that way because there's more things that you can do.
Well, like, let's use Vampire, for instance, and I'll explain what I wasn't happy with Chris and all that. So when Chris started us out, it was just me and Ivy, and then we kind of lured in Monty, and then we had some guest stars now and then, and he stepped us up, I guess, kind of slowly. I would say that Vampire is really designed to be three different types of games. The first type is the lowest level, and that's street level. You're dealing with gangs, you're dealing with combat, you're dealing with rivalries. I mean, nothing major. I mean, everything you do is basically forgotten the next night, and you go on with life. The second level is the city level. You are dealing with, you're handling the assholes that are on the street level going and making a mess of everything. So then you got to go clean up all that shit. And then you have to politically maneuver yourself into a better situation for future, and you got to think long term. And then there is the world level game, and that is you are one small speck amongst hundreds of others politically vying for control of everything. And that's a whole different game. Now, we never got to that level.
Right.
And Chris kind of basically just made the street level ramp up. I mean, we never did a city level thing at all. And I had always told him that I wanted the political side of things. I wanted to be working on making myself a more important vampire and whatnot. And it took him a while to explain this, and I'm not sure if he was just trying to save Ivy's ego or whatever, but apparently Ivy was only in it for the combat. So we went from a 90% combat, 10% everything else to when we ended like when I got out of the Navy, I would say that we were close to 50-50 at that point. I mean, we had whittled Ivy down quite a bit.
Right. I think that like the character that I was playing he required a lot of role play. He was crazy. I played a Malkavian. The Malkavians are crazy. So I wasn't
still the best Malkavian I've ever seen play.
Yeah, I was not allowed to play anything else, even when we needed new characters. Like, okay, you're gonna be what now? You're gonna be what now? Bob's Malkavian. You're gonna be what now? It was cool. I liked it.
And if I was running you and your friends, introducing you to the vampire world, I would do the 3 stages. You would do all kinds of the street level stuff, and you'd be all like, we don't care who's in charge. We're running the show down here. We're doing this, that, and the other thing. And then eventually you elevate yourself going, God, we were stupid. Man, you guys are fucking things up. And go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to play. There's a lot of games I want to play.
Yeah.
It's just that whole time thing. Working thirds, you would think that here's something that's kind of fucked up. You would think that when you're on first shift, it's like, man, if I was just on second or thirds, I could like totally have more time to play and do stuff. But you don't. And when you're on seconds, you're like, if I was just on first or thirds, I would totally have time to do stuff, and you really don't. But when you're on thirds, you're like, if only first or seconds. It doesn't work that way. You work for 8 hours, you sleep for 8 hours, and you do everything else in the rest of the time, and none of those numbers ever seem to fit right. The damn days are flying by, the weeks fly by, then next thing you know, the years are flying by, and I just made myself really sad. So my plan is, I left them in the car, but buying one Powerball and one Hoosier lottery ticket each time the drawing comes around, because you know how they say that money can't buy happiness. It says so. Everybody says so. I want to try it. I want to see if that's true. So,
if we won the lottery, for instance, and it was enough to do so, I would totally let you retire and come hang out with us. We would fly back and forth or something, and you wouldn't have to work nearly as hard because
cool.
we hang out all the time. And if it was that 1 point whatever billion, I could give you 100 million and not even blink because there was so much cash.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the only non-related person, and by related, I mean through marriage, because I certainly wouldn't do it with any of my family. You're the only non-related person I would just freely give cash to in large sums like that.
Which would be awesome because I like money. What is that thing there on your? Yeah, that.
It's a counter. It's a stitch marker, and then it's a counter. So there's a little dial there, and you can spin it to different numbers.
Huh.
And so because I am knitting, here we go, cables, which are the twisty parts,
Mm-hmm.
I have to switch stitches on every 4th row.
So that just keeps track of it. Okay.
So I just keep counting from 1 to 4, and then I know that on that round, on the 4th round, I need to do the switching thing.
Nice.
So I found it at Michael's the other day at this craft. I think it's a chain that's like kind of everywhere, maybe.
We've got Michaels. I like Michaels.
Okay, so I found it there the other day, and I've had stitch markers. I've had the circle that goes around and around, and I've had the little thing with the dial on it that has the numbers, but I've never had the two of them together.
Right. Nice.
So yeah, it's very, very handy.
We looked up something on YouTube yesterday. So while she was out today, she had to buy cheesecloth. I was telling her, oh yeah, Trisha uses the cheesecloth for making her butter and stuff and get all the buttercream. Well, what they did is they took strawberries and they put strawberries in the little blender with lemon juice until it was like very, very liquidy. And then they put that into a cheesecloth and they squeezed it to get out all the blood. Because you want the blood part. The non-blood part you don't want. And then she mixed in gelatin and she made gummy bears that are totally sugar-free gummy bears out of strawberries and lemon juice. And she put them into little gummy molds and everything, and they looked like little gummy bears, but they were like totally sugar-free and all like fruity.
That's very cool.
Yeah. We are actually planning on making, you guys see this because it's kind of cool. We're planning on making gummy type treats. You got Jell-O today, we got gelatin. The other plan is to the further plan then is to try it with alcohol in some of them because it's alcohol. So I have like the little Lego men.
Wait,
It's
hang
a
on.
silicone tray, so it's like
Okay.
dinosaurs,
Ooh.
M&M's, Passoons,
Ah.
Legos, Han Solos, Little Loves, ABCDs.
Oh boy.
Those are going to be tough to get out of the mold. Oh.
So yeah, we're thinking gummies.
So did you get the molds at Michael's?
No, I got those off that Geek. There's Geek and Wish. They're like sister companies. And everything on there is like really cheap, but there's a problem with it. You might not get what you order. A lot of it comes from China or like these obscure stores. So it's like, well, here's this thing, and it's only $1, and it's only $1 to ship it. And then you look at like the reviews. You always gotta look at the reviews because some of the stuff says it took a month to get this, and now it doesn't work. Or I got this right away, and it works great. The ones I always thought were pretty cool is when like all the comments say the same thing. I haven't used it yet, but it looks great. It's like, then don't write your damn reviews until you make sure that it works. I've gotten stuff from them. I haven't had any problems so far. That's where I've gotten a lot of stuff from there. My Cthulhu mask, my little beer bottle ring, which is, this is too small, but it still works. You just got to pop it. I've gotten little things from there. There was like flash drives and stuff, not this one because this is mine, but there's little flash drives and things that people said that in the comments, this deleted all my files. This deleted all my files. So it's like, you got to be very careful. I wouldn't buy electronics through there, but as far as like little things, it's screwed up that it's it's really cheap stuff, but you never know if you're going to get what you order.
Yeah. Since you mentioned flash drives, do you see this? It's a little AMSOIL synthetic oil bottle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's actually a flash drive.
Wow.
My dad gave us all of those for Christmas.
It's so awesome.
I think they're 8 gigabytes, And my dad's an AMSOIL dealer, and so he ordered them through the company. And yeah, it's the coolest flash drive ever.
That's pretty cool. I got somewhere. I got Penguin. I got a Skull. But I think most of the ones that I have, the older ones that I've got, they're only 2 gigs. Because, I mean, 2 gigs was a lot. When I seen it, I was like, oh my gosh, here's a 2 gig. And it's only $20 or $30 or however much you pay for it. And now you can get like a 32 gig for $20. These 16 gigs, I think we paid like $6 for those. Wife may have to be asleep, but they weren't very expensive. I think we got a few of these.
I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive sitting on the shelf next to me here, and I remember when I first heard the word terabyte, like, oh, that's no way I could ever fill that much up. Before I got rid of my iMac, I was having space problems because I had the 2 terabyte drive filled up almost, and my 1 terabyte worth of memory on my iMac almost full. So I was like, Jesus.
Now from what I understand, they have gotten a new way of, excuse me, recording onto a disc, to where you can fit terabytes worth of information onto a CD. So it's like it's a multi-layered system. Instead of just the there or not there, the 0-1 binary type code, it's multi-layers, allowing you to fit a whole lot more.
The term you were looking for is holographic memory.
Yeah, it is. I was just getting ready to say that after you told me what it was.
I've been waiting for holographic memory forever because, you know, in all the sci-fi movies, they bring up the clear cube and they stick it in a hole and they're like, oh, this has got a number that's way too large for a human brain to wrap around worth of data on it because it's holographic, which means it's stored in every front, back, up, down, side to side.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, God, I can't wait till we can start doing that because all we got is the optical ones and zeros. So
they say that even like a crystal is capable of a regular crystal is capable of holding like so many, not terabytes. It was, I don't know what's higher than terabytes, but they're saying how much information you can store on a crystal, which I don't even know how that's possible, but probably that same sort of method.
a terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes, roughly.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what's bigger than a terabyte.
What's bigger than a terabyte? I believe that's a petabyte. But I'm not sure. I know that the biggest word that they have so far is yottabyte. And 8 yottabytes of information happens on the internet every single day.
Now, I used to work with this guy who was a total genius, and he was telling me how that here's a little bit of information for you. This is to prove that scientists have a sense of humor, he said. And it was like, you've got your bytes, you've got your bits, and a bit is made up of 100 nibbles, because you got your nibbles, then your bits, then your bytes. It's like, that's pretty funny.
Yes.
Which is, it's almost nothing data-wise, but like, I think it's, if you had nothing and you divided it in half, it's probably about like that.
Right now, my phone and my computer have the exact same amount of memory.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And the computing power of a calculator is what got the space shuttle on the moon the first time. Or so they say. They don't even know if that really happened. Conspiracists.
It happened. We went there.
You did? Was it nice?
And I totally would have volunteered for that one-way mission to Mars, but I don't think we would have made it through the process.
If Neil deGrasse Tyson says that we went there, I believe him.
Right. I like him. He's really cool. I was listening to his podcast for a while too. I would like to hear him, and wow, that was an amazing thought that I just had. So Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye the Science Guy, That should be our president and vice president combo right there. Either one, it doesn't even matter which one gets which position. Those two, like in charge of our country, will be, yeah, the world will look like the Jetsons in a year.
We would be ruled by rational thinkers rather than Christians.
Yeah, wow, that would be. Wow, think of the possibilities. Free everything for all. When you've got people who are, so though I just saw recently that all the Tesla information has been released to the world. All the blueprints for all the Tesla gear and all that stuff has been released to the world, which is great. Tesla felt that nobody should have to pay for electricity. It's all around us. It's a very rare thing. We were talking about that before. It was the guy who invented the polio vaccine. It was like the equivalent of a $7 billion industry that he just gave to the world because the world needed it. And today you've got some jackass taking the medication that people need and upping the price by 7,000%.
Which, by the way, because he went to prison and he got a headache or something, or had migraines or whatever in prison, and there was a lobby to get the legal system to jack up how much he would have to spend in jail to get the medication he was crying about needing. So, and the bail too. They're like, oh, his bail set at $500,000. Sounds like it's a $50 million bail to me now.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got zero friends, and I mean, I know that he thought that was the funniest thing in the fucking world, and now he's.
Yeah.
I want to hit him in the face with a shovel.
Yeah.
How long
Yeah,
we going on, Bob?
What's that?
How long are we going for?
This has been an hour.
Roughly, yeah.
An hour-ish.
If you're okay going, I'm fine going too.
How has this only been an hour?
I know, talking to him, just it seems like it's been like 10 and it's only been 1. It's tough.
Okay, I understand. I got it. Here's why I was thinking what I was thinking and why I was so terribly wrong. The latest Thor movie's on, all right, and it's just coming to an end now. So my thought is, we've only been on for an hour, and we just finished the Minions movie when we started the show. So how is an hour later Thor over? Well, because the Minions was on DVD, Thor is not. So it all makes sense now. We didn't watch that from the beginning.
Hey, tomorrow is the Superb Owl. Which team are you rooting for?
Unfortunately, I have to go to work early tomorrow, so I'm going to miss the whole damn thing.
But which team are you rooting for?
Oh. I don't know. I don't even know who's playing. It's the Broncos, right?
And the
Patriots? No, who?
Panthers.
Panthers. Right.
Kitties or horses?
Kitties or horses?
I think the horses have a chance based off of my vast knowledge of the sport. And horses are bigger.
But Panthers can hunt and kill horses.
That's true. I changed my mind. It's definitely the kitties.
Okay, so small bit of background. We have a Broncos fan at work, and he's a carrier. He is like he's been wearing Broncos stuff all week. He's like, oh, we're in the Super Bowl. We're in the Super Bowl. And I have said, and this has been going on since the playoffs started, I said, anytime anyone says that the Panthers are going to have a close game, the Panthers absolutely blow out the other team. So the Seattle Seahawks game was supposed to be a close game. The only reason it was only 14 points difference is because they stopped playing in the second half. I don't understand that, but we still lost. So what?
Why'd they stop playing?
They just stood there.
Yeah, basically they were just, like, We just need to hold them off long enough, and we did. They did. So, but they played another game, and it was like, oh, this is going to be a really close game, and it was like a 40-point difference. So the guy at work, the Broncos fan, he says, I think it's going to be a really good game, really close. And I'm like, oh, you just sealed it right there, buddy. Panthers are going to blow you out. He's like, why are you saying that? I'm like, anytime anybody says it's going to be a close game with these Panthers in there, it's a blowout. 35 points is what we're looking at. That's the difference right there.
Wow.
Let's see.
We'll see. If you are right, then I'll let you predict next year's winners, and we'll put some money down on it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I heard a story one year about, it was the last time the Panthers went to the Super Bowl. There was a story about a guy who put like an insane amount of money on the Panthers going to the Super Bowl before the season started, and they got to the Super Bowl, and he was like, yeah, and I predicted they win too. Well, they lost, but I mean, the story was like, oh, how would he know? And, well, it comes out after the Super Bowl's over that this guy does this every year. He just puts money down for the Panthers to win the Super Bowl. And because he happened to be right that one year, they were like, oh, look, he's a freaking genius. No, he's just doing this over and over and over again.
Yeah, I've lost 49 other times, but this time.
Well, no, the Panthers have only existed since we were in the Navy. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I don't follow sports very often because I'm a nerd. I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, and I just got done with Amp Guard. So
you probably seen the funny post. It was from Tumblr. It was like, apparently the best episode of football is happening this weekend, and the con prices are outrageous, but it sounds like it's going to be a good cosplay situation or something to that effect. And it was just
I saw that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, nerds are awesome.
Because
and
jocks will make fun of us for playing role-playing games, but when they're doing fantasy football, that's all they're doing is role-playing with their fandom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that we're all geeks in a way. I've heard of a lot of people so far who have told me that they were closet geeks and that they really like all of the superhero movies they've seen. In fact, one of the guys I worked with told me yesterday he was excited to hear about this. He's like, you know how I was telling you I don't really get into comics, but I like the movies? He says, I found something out. I'm like, what's that? And he says, in like all the Marvel movies, there's like one old man who's in all the movies. And I'm like, Stan Lee? He goes, yeah. He's like, you know who that is? I'm like, yeah, he made those guys. He's like, I know. It's like, all right, dude. He was like so proud because this was information that he learned after everybody on the planet knew it already.
I mean, even I know who and find him.
I just saw a post this morning that said that Stan Lee should be in the newest Thor movie, and he should just be a cleaning guy. He should be cleaning Thor's apartment. He should lift the hammer up, clean underneath it, put it down, and just keep but nobody else in the room. That's
cool. Now, the post I saw today that I thought was amazing was it said that if Stan Lee is in the new Deadpool movie, Deadpool will recognize him. Like, hey, you're the guy who made me. Because Deadpool, he was crazy enough to know that he was in a comic.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know much about him, and he hates him, so I don't get any information on him, but that's interesting.
Deadpool was, I believe, created by Jeff Loeb.
Oh. He would recognize him, though. He might not.
My Stan Lee is, hey, you're the comic book guy. And then
exactly. The thing I like about it is that, and this is what a lot of people don't like, and I believe this is DJ's situation here, is that he is overdone, and he's overdone because of the fact that he'll leave his comic and go into other people's comics. He shows up in commercials that aren't his. He copies a lot of people. At one point, the comic, according to him, was getting boring, so he's like looking at the reader, climbs out of the square that he was in, and he says, I'll be a couple pages over. And then you see, like, as you're turning the pages, there's like the scene, and he's like walking through the pages, like between the shots, and he ends up going somewhere else in the comic where the adventure was. He's like so crazy. He's one of the ones who looks at the reader while they're reading and talks to him because he knows he's in the comic. I think that's kind of neat.
If on a scale of 1 to 10, if 5 is a nice balance of a character being used and 10 is overdone, Deadpool is a 30. He is not only overused, but he is multiple times overused. It's like, hey, it was like Wolverine in the 90s. They had to throw Wolverine in everything. I hated Wolverine.
I was just going to say Wolverine. Yeah, he's everywhere.
And thank God I missed the Spider-Man thing, because apparently Spider-Man was in everything in the 80s and 70s. So, I mean, Spider-Man was the first comic I collected.
They had a there was a movie of them, but Superman was everywhere too at the time. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 movies Christopher Reeves did.
4.
4?
And he had his thing.
He shouldn't have done that. That like was a bad sign. It's like, here this man is totally indestructible and then he hurts his head. He shouldn't have done that, I think.
Well, if you were to look at history, except for the current Superman, everyone to have worn the Superman suit on film has had some sort of tragic end.
Yes. I don't know if I was offered that part as, let's say they said, Bob, would you like to be Fat Superman on TV? I'd probably be like, no, I don't want to die a horrific way. I don't want to. No thanks.
I guess there is one exception. Dean Cain hasn't befallen some sort of terrible thing yet, but it's almost assuredly going to happen, because that's why Tom Welling never wanted to wear the suit on Smallville, is he never wanted to have the curse. But speaking of, Tom Welling is already offering to be Superman in Supergirl.
Oh, wow. I watched some of that. I watched the first episode of that, oddly enough, about a month before it came on TV.
Yeah,
it was on the app, so I watched it. I'm like, why haven't I seen anything about this? And I watched it, and then it was like, it was over a month. I think it was closer to 2 months.
The pilot came out way earlier than the show actually started, yeah.
I started seeing commercials for the pilot. And it was like, well, how the hell did I see this? It came on TV, and I'm like, yeah, I saw this months ago. So I don't know at what point they released it, but it was on that app like a long time before the first episode was on TV.
Are you sitting down, Bob?
Yeah.
The Flash is about to cross over with Supergirl.
Oh, really? See, we talked about that, didn't we?
Well, and I didn't think they were in the same universe because the same guy wasn't running them. I was wrong. The same guy is running both of them. He has to do it differently for CBS, because CBS is like, we know better. And the guy's like, no, you don't. But I'll placate you here and there.
That's cool. And I think that, I've said before that there's only a few times when Superman's actually needed in this world. But every single town should have a Batman.
One of the new employees at work, I overheard him using the word origin. So I asked him about comic books, and he's like, we had a short conversation. And he's like, okay, here's the question I need to ask you: Batman or Iron Man? And Bob, I'm going to ask you that question: Batman or Iron Man? Which one do you want to be?
Which one do I want to be?
Yes.
That's a tough call. I think I would have to say Batman. The reasoning is Tony Stark, he's smart. He's really smart. I don't think that I could handle that intelligence. Have you ever like been in line and you see like a retarded person walk by and they just are so, that's how he has got to look at all the rest of us. Like, to find a girlfriend and you would look at her like, like we look at somebody wearing the helmet and coloring on the window in crayons, that's how he looks at all of us, because he is so much smarter than us. And I think that Batman's a little bit closer to.
Well, I said Iron Man, and this is the way this is my reasoning. As I said, when she is confused as to which company of comic book we're watching on TV or movies, I always say that DC is all about iconography. Every superhero has a freaking logo, okay? All of them. And in Marvel, every superhero has a thing: a hammer, a shield, an arc reactor, armor, things like that. So all the Marvel heroes have a thing. So I want to have substance. So I want to be Iron Man.
All right, good reasoning. Yeah. I mean, in either way, there's like so many things about the two of them that they're both playboy billionaires that are really smart. And Tony, the whole world knows who he is. Nobody knows who Batman is. So you got that going for you. You can be seen not so much in public. I mean, you wouldn't walk into a Walmart as Bruce Wayne, but even amongst his rich friend society. What's that?
Well, what about Batman wears his underwear on the outside, and Iron Man, you don't know if he's wearing underwear because he's got armor on.
That's true. Yeah. I never even thought about the underwear theory. Yeah. I think I would go with Batman though, because technically I think Batman could walk away from it.
Sorry, what?
I think that Batman could, if he decided to, walk away from it. I don't think that Iron Man could ever walk away from it because everybody knows who he is, that he could never just give up. Batman's doing it because he's a little broken. Iron Man's doing it because,
Well,
I think there's more of an ego thing for Iron Man. Like,
Tony's doing it because he's got an ego, but Batman is the individual. Bruce Wayne is not the secret identity. That's the mask he's wearing.
right. So he is Batman, and Bruce is the secret identity.
Is the mask. No, it is the mask that he's wearing. He's not Bruce Wayne. He is Batman who has to masquerade as Bruce Wayne now and then.
Right. Yeah, he's broken. I mean, he saw something terrible when he was a kid, and it kind of fucked him up. So he's got to. I don't think that. I think that any superhero, anybody who's gone through a trauma like that, and you're thinking, I'm just going to kill this one guy and get the revenge. All right, I'm just going to take care of these guys here, and then it'll be over. All right, I just got to clean up this town, and it'll be over. If Gotham City turned out to be a paradise, he would still have to go looking for trouble somewhere because he's a little broken.
Yeah. I gotta pee really bad because I have had 2 drinks.
Yeah, I had one. Well, what do you think about go ahead and ending the show then?
We can do that.
I'm like crazy tired right now.
Yeah. When we cut the broadcast, I want to get something from you before you go. So, but for everybody else, this was a little bit longer than normal to make up for last week. Yeah. And we have every intention of doing it again next week. And next time, if we do cancel, I won't forget to post that we canceled. Bob, it is important to know that our next episode is episode number 69.
Oh, yeah, that's important. We need to have some cool, like, sexual themed title, like Mountain Dew.
It could be
spelling it D-O.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, Mountain Dew. Okay, so for those that are watching, your night is over. Bob, I will see you in just a minute.
Bye.